All right, what up? Good evening, Deontay with Deontay's Reviews. And so, Sonny finds out that new life can mean death. So, she's having her appointment. I remember that. Mike was on his way to be here to support. Why are all these people in the doctor's office? I mean, sometimes when you having your checkup appointments like this, it's kind of I don't want to really say sacred, but it's more of like an intimate, your husband, boyfriend, whoever the baby daddy is, and maybe one other person. You don't always see the dad of the person having the baby in there. But anyway, let's get into what's happening here. Let's unpack it.
He said he's coming, Dad. He'll be there. That's probably.
Good.
Why are you looking at him like that?
It's something we already discussed. So, yeah. Come on in.
Hey, a lot more people this time. So came to get our checked up.
My dad,
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
sister, and Mike. So,
Understood. Okay, and you're okay with me sharing your information with everybody in this room, correct?
yeah, it's family.
Okay, understood. So last time when we did the ultrasound, we had some stuff that we had to discuss. One of the things was that again we had some issues with the.
First of all, why it look like they found this doctor from the meat market and Shoppers in the back somewhere cutting up meat, and they just said, "Come on, we got a roll for you." Oh man, this the doctor from Shoppers Food Warehouse, the meat department.
Hormones up front. That can still be an issue going throughout the pregnancy. So this is something that we strongly have to consider. What I mean by that is having a history of PCOS, having these hormone imbalances, means that this pregnancy can get kind of dicey or dangerous. So we're going to have to take a lot of precautions moving forward. Now, with that being said, the first thing we have to consider, which we did not talk about or discuss last time, was, is this a pregnancy you really want to carry out all the way through?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, this is just something I have to ask. I want to make sure that we're all on the same page and that we're very clear. So,
Just to clarify, what exactly does that mean? I mean, she needs to be making options or making decisions now?
not necessarily that we need to make decisions now. It is still pretty early along in the pregnancy. However, having PCOS can put you at risk for like early pregnancies, or it can lead to spontaneous abortion sometimes, or it could even lead to anything like miscarriages happening, or even preeclampsia, things that could get kind of dangerous later on in the pregnancy once you start getting.
Preeclampsia?
Correct. So that just means that you can have some issues with delivery later on in the pregnancy. So like when you start getting closer, you can have issues with like high blood pressure or issues with seizures and things of that nature. So we have to be cautious because that could be something.
So in other words, she's a high risk for a pregnancy, pretty much. Now I told y'all, I said when they popped up that Sonny was potentially pregnant again, I said, y'all remember me saying, I wonder if they was going to carry this full term. I just kept feeling that, I don't know. I wasn't too confident that they was going to carry this full term, this in this storyline. So now we're getting the storyline where there's some issues.
That's a little bit dangerous.
Well, she's pretty active, and so would she need to be on bed rest? Do we need to prepare
Yeah, she ain't going to be able to work out and go to the gym and stuff like that. No.
to have someone to take care of her?
Like a high risk pregnancy is basically what you're saying?
Correct. So it is slightly high risk. It doesn't mean that it's a problem yet, but it's a problem that can develop in the future. So it's something that we have to be cautious with. And in this case, it's something that we have to monitor closely. So,
Okay, so would it ever like come to an option of where it had to be me or the baby, that kind of thing?
that's a little bit rare, but it does happen. And when it does happen, it's usually based on the mother's choice. So, for example, if you had an issue where it's like we have to get rid of the baby because it's too dangerous for you, or you have to hold on to the child because you want to make sure that you're able to give a healthy delivery.
So, me and my wife had this conversation some months ago. I'm actually glad that they're going or experimenting this route in this skit, because the things that African American women have to go through when they are pregnant is different from their white counterparts or white women. African American women are, and this is not a ad for, pregnancies or anything like that, but African American women go through hell when they are carrying children, and they are not always treated the best. And this is not to be political, but one thing I did not know that my wife was saying, or that I learned from my wife, was that this is why a lot of people were upset about the whole abortion thing or women's rights being taken away, because women who are high risk when it comes to pregnancy, the care that you need is classified, I guess, under the abortion, I forget what is it, code or what have you. So if it's ever a situation where it has to be a choice between the woman or the child, with them repealing the abortion, it also impacts women who could potentially lose their life during childbirth because of things like this. So I'm actually glad, because it's a teachable moment, I guess, but not to be political in terms of trying to sway you one side or other, but it just made me think about that.
That's the only time where something like that can happen, but it usually boils down to how the mother feels and how much you want to carry the pregnancy and how determined you are.
Yo, why he looking at Mike like Mike did it? Like, oh my God. I'm assuming he's upset because he feels like by Mike getting his daughter pregnant, it put her in this situation that she didn't have to be in, or it could have been avoided. But I mean, one could argue that his anger and his frustration, this look, is misplaced, because he wasn't the only one that made a decision to lay down, and he wasn't the only one that was there. But nonetheless, so it sounds like Sonny is going to go through some changes. I think I did hear that she's going to be doing some bodybuilding, so she might be leaving the skits. Now, I'm wondering if this means she's going to leave the skits permanently, because remember, Blake had a mother, and Blake's mother died in the skits and never came back. So I'm wondering if this is just going to be Sonny's temporary exit, which meaning she could miscarry, go through a state of depression, leave town, go back to Texas or wherever she came from, and be gone for a while she's doing the bodybuilding thing in real life, or if they're going to play the storyline where she's going to try to carry the child long term and lose her life on the birthing table and then be gone permanently, like kill her out of the skits. I don't know if I would want to see that, because we got so much depressing and drama stuff going on in the skits. But let me know in the comments where y'all think they going with this. Let me know. Like, tag, comment, share, subscribe.